Hey everyone, CR here. This is Familiar Faces. Today I just want to take a quick look at Disney's new TV show, Milo Murphy's Law. Okay, for those who don't know, Milo Murphy's Law is a new animated series from Phineas and Ferb creator Dan Povenmire, and Jeff Swampy Marsh. It's been getting a lot of buzz because, aside from the fact that it's from a creative team that gave us like a huge successful series for Disney, it's also starring Weird Al Yankovic as the titular Milo.
Ooh, look, a vitamin C tablet. What? It's cold and flu season.
Milo being the descendant of Edward A. Murphy Jr., and of course named after Murphy's Law, which states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Sorry, boys, it's been a little oil spill.
I think we can still make it across.
Now, before I get into the nuts and bolts, I want to say that I really think that this first episode was really good at establishing the ground rules of what could happen in this universe and relating to this character. You see him go through various disasters, and they start out small and then they incrementally get worse and worse and more outlandish until, spoilers, at the end you see aliens. Just straight up, fantasy stuff.
I realize you've come a long way, but we really need to get to school.
And much like Phineas and Ferb, it's a series basically that's designed around anything happening. But unlike Phineas and Ferb, where the two main characters were the originators of all the insane wackiness that was going on around them, it's just Milo's incessant bad luck that is the catalyst to everything going on. Which is interesting because it's very similar to a previous success, but it's also just different enough to distinguish it from Phineas and Ferb. But one thing I noticed about this first episode is, man, sometimes the animation is really, really nice. There is this tremendous jump in animation quality. From one part in the episode where they get attacked by wolves, and specifically from that point you can just tell where they really played with the space and just a lot of action. One thing I'm a little worried is like, can they keep up with that? I assume that they've been given a bigger budget because of all the success they've had with Phineas and Ferb, and it's basically like, oh yeah, sure, you can do whatever you want. But I don't know if that's going to be a normal occurrence. The second episode that they showed after that, the animation seemed a little bit more, something more like you would see in Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb, of course, being known for its large musical numbers, big chase scenes, extensive action sequences sometimes. But if I had to make a connection, it's definitely it'd be like a regular Phineas and Ferb episode versus the Dimension movie, where you can totally tell that the animation budget just got kicked up a notch, just a little bit, just to make it special. I don't think that's going to be a norm on the series. If it is, then I'd be pleasantly surprised.
So that's what a runaway train car looks like. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed.
But getting back to the characters, again, Milo is voiced by Weird Al. And I like this character because he is a jinx. However, he has chosen to, I guess, embrace this lifestyle.
How do you live like this?
How do you live like that?
What do you mean?
I mean, you want to live like those other kids? They took a bus to school today. A bus! Does that seem like more fun to you?
He has a backpack, one of those little magic wands, if you will, that contains whatever item necessary for whatever situation he is in.
Have you been carrying that the whole time?
I try to pack for any eventuality.
He understands that he is a jinx, he is a pariah amongst his, fellow students and maybe even the town. But they also seem to embrace him for that.
Hey, Milo! Is that a new scar?
Yeah, thanks for noticing.
And again, you kind of have to admire his upbeat nature. It's not necessarily an innocence or like ignorance, it's just kind of looking at the bright side of every situation.
Oh yeah, the fire dried out my phone.
The fact that he is voiced by Weird Al Yankovic is a bit of a distraction. Not too much of one, but it is a distraction nonetheless. I really kind of wanted to believe that Weird Al's voice could come out of this guy. And I sometimes it won me over and sometimes it didn't. It helps the fact that once I found out that they were all teenagers going to high school, it helped a little bit knowing that these characters weren't the same age as Phineas and Ferb. They were more like the age of Vanessa, who was a teenager, if not like going to college. Weird Al is an amazing vocalist. He is an amazing performer. You can definitely that's Weird Al. He played a wizard on Gravity Falls. And he was dynamic, sure, and he kind of got in the role, and you can kind of imagine that his voice would come out of like a gnarly wizard. But, it's just Weird Al. It's just weird. I'm hoping as the series goes on, whatever mental block I have in my head will just dissolve, and I will embrace this character wholeheartedly. Although there is something in the show that made me spur my own headcanon, which was something Milo said about screaming.
Wait, why aren't you screaming?
I find it doesn't help. Just hurts the larynx.
Okay, so in my own personal headcanon, I like to think that when he was, a little baby Milo Jinx, he would scream so much that it just corroded his larynx or something, and now he sounds like a 40-plus-year-old parody artist. How old is Weird Al?
When I was your age.
Now, the Phineas and Ferb series also, of course, known for its very large cast of interesting individuals, and this is no different. In fact, you see most of the people that you haven't even met yet in the opening credits. There is a character from the second episode in the opening scene. He pops out from the manhole. So you can definitely tell that these are all they're Easter eggs for now, but you will meet all of these characters sooner or later. But for now, we can talk about the characters that appeared in the show. Like Zach, who is Milo's new best friend. He meets Milo on his very first day at school. He gets sucked in by Milo's gravity and gets taken on this weird adventure all over town. He is the everyman of the series, where he's supposed to meet Milo. We're supposed to be introduced to the concept of him being a Jinx. Of course, he is not cool with it at first, but then he sort of warms up to Milo and his uniqueness.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid, a whole new world.
Again, I wouldn't say Zach has any kind of outstanding personality or quirks or anything like that, other than the fact that he is named after the original Black Power Ranger. Then you got Milo's other friend, Melissa, who's almost looks like a combination of Stacy and Candace. Don't really know what to make of her, because she was also standoffish from Milo when they were at the bus stop. But then in the second episode, she totally hangs out with Milo. It seems like that's a common occurrence for them. I know that she might be a little bit more feisty.
Chelsea's in for a pack of chips. Sid's upping it to 2 pudding packs. I like that confidence, Sid, but you're going down.
Maybe a little bit more open and willing to go on Milo's crazy adventures. Other than that, she kind of hangs around in this little sassy pose and just kind of reacts to things.
Go, Milo!
And then you have Bradley, who was sort of the foil or even Squidward to Milo. He's the one that kind of takes the bet that Milo won't get to school. He's also kind of annoyed about all the attention that Milo gets.
Any minute now, Milo is going to show up, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, Milo, tell us about your adventure." But until then, I'm having my best day ever.
Interestingly enough, he has the same voice actor as Phineas. And that's right. I was actually shocked. I had to look it up. You can kind of hear it at the first Phineas and Ferb episode.
Man, that was lame. Why, if I built a roller coaster, I would... That's it! I know what we're gonna do today!
He seems to pitch his voice up when he's doing Phineas, and then pitch it down when he's doing Bradley. One thing that I will say about these characters is that I wish they were just a little bit more dynamic. You know, he should be the Squidward. He should be like, ooh, Milo! Ooh, oh, I hate Milo. I hate all the attention he gets. He should just, you know, go away. But no, he's just kind of more or less just like, oh, that Milo. He's always getting the attention. Oh, well. Because you have Zach, and he's a little bit too mellow to be the panicky best friend. And then you have Melissa. She's also just a bit too mellow to be the feisty, aggressive huckster. There is one other character, D.O.G., Milo's pet dog, who will show up whenever it is fortuitous to Milo. Which, again, like the backpack, will be a kind of magic wand so that Milo can get out of whatever situation he's in.
Diochi, what are you doing here?
He shows up when the wolves attack, and he also shows up when they are stuck underground, which, you know, it's like, oh, the joke is, how would he be able to get there? And it's like, yeah, that's good. I hope they use DOG sparingly. It made kind of sense with Perry the Platypus, because Perry the Platypus was a secret agent. He was kind of trained to disarm any kind of situation.
I'm just having trouble processing this right now. So you've discovered your pet is a secret agent. I don't want your pamphlet.
DOG just appears to be a big old friendly dog who geometrically just doesn't fit in with the townsfolk. And I'm just saying, use the dog sparingly.
He's not supposed to be in the river.
Again, I'm sort of looking forward to this. Like I said, it's familiar territory, but it's just got just enough of a twist to kind of make it interesting. I like Milo as a character. I like the other characters. I just think they need to just be fleshed out a little bit more. I don't want everyone to have this almost Family Guy level of blasé to whatever situation they are in. I know that's the joke. Milo is a constant jinx, and he's just causing all this crazy stuff to happen, and people are just like, oh, well, that's what's happening. But no, even in Phineas and Ferb, they had people reacting, at least normally, to what was going on. Candace was going nuts. Sorry, the camera just bugged out of me. All the excitement I got from the episode was watching all the action, which maybe that's the whole point of the series. Maybe they're just supposed to kind of be kind of mellow and calm about everything that's going on. And, while everything is going insane. Maybe that's just the way that this series is supposed to play out. So while editing this video, I stumbled upon some artwork from a staff member of the show. And it's basically counting down the days until the series premiere. And it is really adorable and very well done. It really helps me get a better idea of how these characters will interact. Just look at that face, I love it. Other than that, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to just some more of it. Okay.
Oh, this is a story about a guy named Al, and he lived in a sewer with his hamster pal, but the sanitation workers really didn't approve, so he packed up his accordion and had to move to a city in Ohio where he lived in a tree, and he worked in a nasal decongestant factory, and he played on the company bowling team, and every single night he had a strange recurring dream where he was wearing lederhosen and a vat of sour cream, but that's really not important to the story.
Look at that kid back there. He's so excited about those pistachios.